This video is interesting. Well, not the video itself because I've never seen this video. I saved it to see if it's good or not. I don't know if it's going to be good. It's just that this guy I saw popped up in my TikTok algorithm. He called himself the king of betas. I'm like, okay, it's not necessarily the most endearing term to embrace, but it's cool that he embraces it, right? So I'm gonna check this one out. Again, I don't know if this is a good video or not. Hopefully, it's interesting to react to. If he does have some, and this is the thing, right? I don't really like interact reacting to panderers because I always find these are men that I find even more stupid than women because so instead of being logical as a man, you are being emotional like a woman. You are absolutely delusional. You're absolutely idiotic. But, you know, let's see if he's that person. But but again, I said this where I dislike reacting to panderers because it's even more annoying. Because when women make certain takes, you can understand it. You can give it, even if you don't, but you can give it a little grace because it's a woman. But when a man does it, it's like you have no excuse. You have no excuse for being so idiotic, for being so delusional, for being such a hypocrite. So we'll see this. Let's check this out.
Proverbs 31 women, and there's books written on that. But right there, and I'm an atheist, just to be clear, like my followers know I'm completely atheist. I do not believe in the Bible. Christian mythology, I think, has done us all dirty, and it did me dirty, so I'm no longer participating in it. But what about there's a verse where Jesus is with Mary and Martha. They're the sisters of Lazarus, and Martha's in the kitchen, right? She's in the kitchen and she's doing all the cooking, and she's like, "Hey, Jesus, go tell Mary that she needs to get in the kitchen." And Jesus himself says, Mary's out here with the men. She's chosen the better part. So, like, why are we in the Bible?
Now, I'm not a Bible thumper, right? I know very little about the Bible. I know very little. I mean, just the popular teachings, the popular, talking points. So I don't know if she's saying it's true or not. But here's the thing where I always find it weird that anybody, whether you are a Bible thumper or you're not, that you like to pick and choose certain things. I hate that kind of point of view. When you pick and choose certain things, it doesn't give you any credence to your argument, your overarching argument. And excuse me, sorry. And here's the thing where to say that it's a good thing that women are not in the kitchen but out with men. It's like, now I'm not the type of man who's saying, "Oh, women need to be in the kitchen." No. But again, women being in men's spaces has not really done women has not really done women any favors, or has not been that great of a thing for women. It hasn't. How many times you hear women say, "Oh, men are misogyn." I just did a video of a woman who's saying like she's in the military, surrounded by men, and like she's like, "Oh, men are this, men are that." Then you know what? Then this is the thing. Don't be in men's spaces. It's the insanity that you have to insert yourself into men's spaces and then want men to change. I find that absolutely idiotic, in my opinion. I really do. I mean, unless you can accept and adapt to men's spaces, or just don't be in it. I mean, unless it's like there are absolutely disgusting, like evil, vile, where they want to kill, or just extremes, right? Unless it's extremes, stop it with the your high horse. I hate it when people like you go into something and you want others to change. No accountability whatsoever.
Don't be a Proverbs 31 girl. Be a, what is that, Luke 20 or something? Be a Luke 20 lady. Jesus said, "Get the hell out of the kitchen." He literally says that in the Bible. Get the hell out of the kitchen. The better option is to be out here with the men. So, like,
How is that the better option? I I find it really idiotic, okay? We have women nowadays complaining about working. This is a thing where, I mean, like, you have the freedom to do what you want, okay? But literally, women are now feminism has now pushed women outside of the household, and now they are in the fields, in the environment along with men. And yet they don't realize that men didn't want it. Men had to accept it. Now women are dealing with the environment where they are they are in the field along with men, suffering along with men. Great. That's great for women.
The Bible, people cherry pick it. Pastors have cherry picked the Bible so that they can make women think that they have to be crab wives. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it gets back to certainly they like to pick that when it supports what they think, but then they won't pick the part about not eating certain types of meats or like wearing certain garment fabrics together or like thread types together. And to me, it just goes back to like when men say that kind of stuff, they don't realize it, but what they're saying is, I'm really tired and lazy and I really want to relax. Please give me a break. But what they say out loud is, I've got this moral high ground and this is the way it's supposed to be. But what they mean is, this is tough. This is tough. And I don't want to step up and put in the extra effort or support or hours or whatever it's going to take to make their partner and their family feel supported. And then they'll stand on some kind of excuse. Either I worked all day, I made the money, the Bible says this, something like that. And then they'll like that is their big manly chest puffed out excuse. I always use that phrase. Like people.
Yeah, I can tell that I'll love this guy. Here's the thing where I find it funny because you are seeing the change right now. There are more and more men saying, "What about me?" In the sense that I don't want to fully provide. Like literally, there are less men, okay, stepping up to want to fully provide. Now, I've been on record to say this. I believe that most people, most average people, which is most people, should do 50-50. 50-50. And if she work, I mean, she should work, he should work. They both provide financially. And here's the thing where I will hold men accountable. He also needs to do domestic work, clean, cook if he wants to cook. This is a thing where, for me, I don't necessarily cook. I just pop something in the oven. Okay, so if I'm doing that, that's how I do it. If I'm eating like that, I do that. When I want to clean, I clean when I want to clean. Like yesterday, the other day, I mean, I stayed home a bit and I started cleaning. Right, I started cleaning my bathroom, started cleaning, folding clothes and stuff like that. But I do it when I want to do it. All right, we shouldn't be forcing people on when they need to do it. Okay, but again, contribute. Right, domestic work. You should contribute to childcare. Like you should be part of your children's lives. I 100% support fathers being an active part in their children's life. And here's the thing where at least the single father statistics have shown that men are active parts in their children's life. Actually, statistics are showing that there's an increasing amount of men who are actually changing the tide, where they are more active fathers. They are more active in the homemaking. And they're also showing that men are not jumping to fully provide. So men are adapting. I believe it's women not liking the adaptation. It's women who do not want, because again, 60% of women or 60% of stay-at-home moms, they're the ones who choose, who want to be stay-at-home moms. So women are the ones who desire to be stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home wives. Men would love the burden not to be 100% on him. Men would love a chance to be a part of their children's lives, to be a part of, to be around their wives, their girlfriends more often than just be at work all the time.
Will come into my chat and their chest is just puffed out, and take a breath. Just be willing to have a conversation. Realize that the other 4 billion people staring across the aisle at you, the women, they are people. Like science says, you guys think and feel just like us. There's nothing different except for the chromosome thing.
Do you have merch yet?
I don't have merch yet. I should, right?
Or you should women people. I have all the feminist merch. I have "A Man Is Not a Plan." fuck the patriarchy, all that stuff.
Oh, I saw that.
More people, that'd be great. And any of my followers, please go over and follow John. I call him John the Good Guy, and we've done a couple podcasts and things together. John, the reason that I'm so intrigued by you is that we need men like you, or we women just like it's life without cats. And I love cats, and being single is a great thing for a lot of people. But ideally, humans do need partnerships. Not everybody. Some people are better single.
And here, my controversial opinion, I think more women should just stay single for the rest of their life. I hope that women would sterilize themselves, i.e., not get pregnant, right? I did a there's a woman that on TikTok, she said that she sterilized herself. I mean, I'm not forcing anything on women, right? I'm not forcing anything. But again, we definitely need less baby mamas in this world. And I believe a lot of women are better off, better suited to just be single for the rest of their life. I believe that feminism, straight up feminism, they are better off not reproducing, right? These women are better off not teaching the next generation. I don't know if this guy's single, but again, men like him are also better off not producing.
Some people don't want to be a partner, but we are wired for love. Stan Tatkin, a lot of researchers say that. And it's unfortunate for those of us who do want to be in partnerships with men to know that there's absolutely nobody good out there to date. And marry them, then now we're like the baby mommies of these little toddler boys who like that's the worst. The whole man keeping thing and being a caretaker to a grown ass human being is exhausting. We women are tired of doing it. And just to know that there's a guy out there who's
Oh, God. Okay, so I Googled it, right? While men's participation in domestic work and childcare has increased, women still perform a larger percentage of these tasks. For instance, some studies, women do about 58% of housework, 57% of domestic labor for couples with children, while men do 43%. In terms of childcare specifically, men spend approximately 51% of the time women do, according to one analysis. Okay, again, you could read it, right? I mean, women are responsible for about 58% of the housework. Men do almost half. Now, again, it's probably skewed because certain women's do, they go for traditional relationships, but very, in couples with children, women are responsible for about 57% of domestic labor, while men are 43%. It's not, I find it, the wording's a little bit weird, right? Women still perform a larger percentage of these tasks. Yes, but you would think that it was like, I don't know, 70-30, 80-20 by what all these feminists and, feminist men talk about. You make it seem like it's so drastic. Not that drastic. It is increasing. Men are, taking up the slack. More and more men. Again, things are changing, right? Men are changing it. And it's funny too, where you think about this. There are in such a huge, I believe a huge increase of men changing things. Yet there's still a huge or there's a decent amount of divorces, and decent amount, 70% are filed by women. I mean, again, there's no necessary correlations, right, or causations, but could be that even though men are doing better, men are contributing, men are taking up a lot of the slack. This ain't a little bit, right? 43 to 57. That's not an insane gap. That isn't. But women are still leaving marriages, still leaving, are the ones who file for divorce majority of the time. Make what kind of assumption you think.
teaching other men to step up and be equal partners in the home that's what we need. That's what we want.
Yeah. And it pains me when they, like, usually a woman, right? But a woman will come into the chat. And actually, I think you had one a minute ago in your chat. I think a woman that would say, like, where are the men like these? I thought that men like these didn't exist. And that's sad. It's encouraging because I know that I'm not the only one, obviously. But it is sad to see that. It's sad to see that so many women have gotten burned or whatever, that they think that every man out there says, shut up and cook and clean. I hate that, pains me. And I told you, I say this on my lives when I go live at least like once a day, that part of the main reason I do this is because I've got my 5-year-old daughter. I don't want her to grow up and think that I am not a good enough woman or partner or whatever unless I do what the Bible says or do what my man tells me or do that thing I really don't want to have to do. I want her to be able to choose. And then if she chooses to cook and clean, whatever, that's her choice. But I certainly don't want her to sit around for 18 or 40 or 60 years thinking, I think I love this guy, but I really hate doing this thing, but I better shut up and do it, right? She's better than that. All you guys are.
Then choose a different guy. Here's the, this is why I hate panderers, okay? Where you are here promoting no accountability. You love this guy, but yet he expects you to be in the kitchen, then fucking don't love him. Pick another fucking man. It's like, what? And this is the problem I find, right? With feminism, right? With feminists in particular, panderers or straight up feminists. Do you not take accountability at all for your actions? Do you not believe that you have a hand, or the hugest, right? The hugest hand in your own effing life? You're the one who dictates your life. Who is forcing you to do whatever you don't want to do? What man is forcing you to be in the kitchen? What man, please? I have yet to hear. Please tell me what man that you don't want is forcing you to be in the kitchen. I really want to hear, because again, you are choosing it. At the end of the day, you can leave said men that even try to force anything on you. You can leave it.
All women are, all men are. So
I just love that. And that's like the new wave of feminism. That's our motto, is for our daughters. So I love that you talk about that. And on that topic, Linda Mason, Linda, I haven't seen you forever. I'm never on TikTok. So I'm just so happy to see some of my peeps on here. Linda says, I had 4 children, Jenny, and I taught my boys as well as my only daughter to cook and clean. And John, that's how we disrupt this future cycle. That's how we become the cycle breakers. That's how we stop this from moving.
Stop it. Okay. This is a thing where, let me see this. This is a thing where I find it funny. Who are the ones to typically educate the children? Who are the ones to actually raise the children? You constantly, a lot of women, a lot of feminists constantly complain that men are not active in their children's lives. Men are not, doing much. So in reality, right, you got to think about this. It is the mothers that are active in the children's life. And even, let's say, besides household, it is women in the school system that is the second active figure, adult figure in a child's life. So it's always women. Always women are the most active role, has the most active roles in said children's lives. And yet you always bring back to blaming shit on men. You're always bringing back to blaming shit on men. I just find it really funny, because who are these young men learning shit from? From their mothers, from other women.
Forward. Like, it's 2025 right now. We don't want to be having this conversation in 2045, 2050. Yeah. I don't want my granddaughters. I have one little grandbaby. He just turned 4. I don't want that generation.
You have a grandchild? Oh my God, these people are just miserable, stupid fools.
50 years down the road to still be having this conversation. And when category of the human race to be the servants to the other category, I want to stop it now. And Linda, that's exactly how we do it. And I've raised sons. I teach them exactly to do the same stuff. And I think that's a really distinctively different mindset that my parents didn't have and my grandparents certainly didn't have. Like my granddad, the boys went to Boy Scouts, they played football, they did their homework, they were working on careers. while the girls, they were in the kitchen. And I saw this in my own life. Like, I'd go to grandma and granddad's house, and all of my grown-ass uncles, after dinner, would just sit at the table while we women cleared the plates. In my entire life, I'm 50 years old, and I have been to so many Thanksgivings and Sunday dinner at grandma's house and all this stuff. I've been to my uncles' homes for dinners and stuff too. I have never once seen one of my uncles who are that generation ever go into the kitchen and do any of the work.
Yeah.
They're washing the dishes. They're not mopping the floor afterwards. They're not like putting away.
This is why I find women idiotic. Okay, so you are 50, so the generation you're talking about are extremely old. So here's the thing. Why don't you bring, oh, did you see that? Oh, I don't see this generation of these older women going out to work. Why don't you say that? No, 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 no. You have to make a point about the flaws of men, or the flaws you see in men, right? The issues you see in men. Like, you're not, again, I'll say this, right? In today's age, 2025, fine, right? It's okay that you think if women are working, providing, okay, I don't believe that men shouldn't also take up slack in the household. I've been stoutly opposed to men just like let a woman provide or contribute providing, and then also take 100% or the huge majority of all the other labors. No, I believe that we need to make it as 50-50 as possible. Why? Because we can shut up people like this. I love it that more and more men are actually changing the tide. More and more men say, okay, I'm not paying fully dates. No, because this should be a 50-50 situation. Because of women like this, because of beta male like this, right? I want to not feed into your delusions. I want to not make you, like give you reasonings for all the patriarchy, all that shit, men's privilege shit. No. So we are going to treat you like equals. I believe men do it more. Men do it, right? Men do treat women like equals. Let's go 50-50. Let's pay for the dates, both of it. Let's, I don't need to open the door for you. I don't need to, like, literally, men are doing it. You're seeing it. Chivalry is dead because, again, that's not treating women like equals, right? That's treating women special. Men are expecting women to put in effort, right? And women are calling men sassy, right? Men are doing it.
The leftovers or anything, because they were taught these very distinctively gendered roles. And I think that we do our kids a disservice when we raise them as half of a person. Like, why should a bachelor not know how to decorate their house, not know how to meal prep for the week, not know how to run their washing machine, and be waiting for this woman to come do that for him? And why should a woman not know how to not have the education, not have the job skills, not be able to provide for herself, get her own credit, buy her own home, and take care of herself? Women need to be taught that leadership. We need to be taught the whole package. Wouldn't you agree? Like, we need to stop raising people to be half of the package.
Yeah, 100%. I don't understand. I had somebody in yesterday, I think, that came in and said, I know that it doesn't work the way that John says it works. The other way works better. And whenever I asked, okay, what's your proof? What's your data? What's your logic? And this guy said, history. And I was like, okay, we used to not fly. We used to not have internet. We used to not have slaves. What do you mean history? And then, of course, they went back to their little messed up argument of that's the way it's always been.
So, I mean, I just Googled it. I mean, they didn't give me a percentage, but they said traditional relationships do tend to have lower divorce rates compared to non-traditional unions. They also gave it a caveat where the reasons are complex and often linked to factors such as shared values, social support, and financial interdependence, rather than traditional structure itself guaranteeing happiness or stability. So, I mean, again, yes, it's you could probably have to dig in deeper. Yeah, you probably have to dig in deeper, but there's been some research that suggests children of divorce are more or likelier to divorce themselves. So, and again, usually is traditional families don't promote divorces. So I wish they gave me the statistics on it, but AI, right, who is much smarter than the average person, um, has those datas. So yeah, I mean, it has shown that. So I mean, you know,
If that's the way we always thought, we would still have slaves. We wouldn't have internet. Like we'd still be hunting bears for like meat and blubber out in the wild or whatever happened 30, 40, 50,000 years ago, even 6,000 years ago. That's what you think. And it's like the time is now. The time is not 200 years in the future when it's a little bit easier. It only gets easier to make changes like this for the better when people.
I wish he said he has a daughter. He doesn't say he has a wife. So I really would like, because here's the thing, right? I'm not saying that, oh, if you don't have someone or if you do have someone, it backs up your saying. But when I find it, because I don't give prescriptions, right? I don't give prescriptions. Uh, it's more descriptive, okay? So I don't tell you what to do. I don't tell you necessarily the best path to take, okay? I do promote more men loving themselves, more men respecting themselves, more men having boundaries. But that should be universal, women or man. For these people who tout, oh, let's not do traditional stuff. The new age, whatever stuff is better and all this stuff. Okay, then could you prove it? You're 50 and single. Maybe, again, I'm assuming, right? I'll probably maybe check out more of his shit to come see and confirm. But here's a man, a single father, maybe. So are like, because you tout what you're saying is so much better. Where's the proof in it? Right? Where's the proof in it? Because I find it when people say that this way is better, you have no results to show it. I was like, how can you show me that it's better? Where's the proof? I'm not saying what is better and what's not. Okay, that's not. I mean, maybe if you can point me where I'm saying certain things that, oh, do this, it's better for you. In the sense that, like I said, I mean, respecting yourself, having boundaries, it's better regardless of any kind of situation. But I'm not saying, oh, you know what, go have a body count of 50, right, and go do this. No, I don't really care to give you prescriptions on how to go about life, or I don't know, how to be the best person in a sense.
Like us do it when it's hard. Otherwise, we would still have all those terrible things and we wouldn't have good things like the internet. So I'm not going to wait until it's easy and comfortable to tell men who disagree with me, hey, your daughters don't have to cook and clean to be good daughters. I'm going to say, right. And hopefully I make a difference to one or two of them. Maybe someone's listening right now and they'll open up. Who knows?
I don't know what man teaches his daughter, oh, you need to cook and clean to be a better. No. But what I do, and I personally promote, right? I have a daughter. What I do promote is accountability. Choose the path, right? Choose the path you want to choose and know that you chose it. No one forced you to. You want to be a career woman? Do it. You want to find a man that you will love and, be his helpmate? Go for it. But learn it's accountability. You chose it. No one forced you, right? No one forced you in whatever path you choose. I don't know any man who is telling his daughter, who is teaching his daughter, you need to cook and clean. You need to learn to cook and clean for your husband. What? In my honest opinion, I think there's more men teaching women to be strong, independent, which I think that's a detriment in themselves, right? I would not teach my daughter to be one way or the other. I would teach my daughter to have accountability. Choose which way you want and know that you chose it.
And that's a funny thing too, because like people cling to these certain things about history because I'm a man, I want to go to work, I want to come home, sit in my recliner, and I want to have the wife cook my dinner. And
I don't. I honestly don't. Here's my thing, right? I don't believe now. Please prove me wrong. I don't believe men are desiring to go to work and just go home, break their back during work and go home and just have you cook and clean. right? I don't believe that. I mean, I'm not saying there's no men, but I don't believe that men are desiring that. If men can, well, I would say this, right? It depends on like how long he's been living by himself, right? I believe, and a lot of my audience, they've lived by themselves. They take care of themselves, so they're not desiring to, you know, go work 100% and then come home and then have a woman take care of everything. No, but in my opinion, is that a lot of these men are saying, "What do women contribute? What do women bring to the table?" And women get angry about that. All right, what do you bring to the table? Women aren't saying that, okay, I'll take off some of the load, right? Let's both provide, right? You don't have to pay 100% of anything. We'll do 50-50, right? We have a partnership. But women aren't saying that. What do they say? I bring me. Okay, what the fuck does that mean? Right? That's nothing. So again, men are finding that a lot of women are not bringing much to the table besides themselves. So in turn, fine. If you're not providing, if you're not contributing, then you have to go back to your gender norms. Men are not necessarily pushing women to it, in my opinion.
That's a magical feeling. Like last week, I pulled like a 16-hour day. I had all these scripts and a podcast and an interview to do. And it was like 8 o'clock at night. And I was still sitting at my desk when Kevin came home, and I was supposed to be the one cooking dinner that day. And Kevin, this happens so often. Kevin comes home, my podcast has gone long, something's gone long. And Kevin gets out of the kitchen and he cooks yet again another beautiful meal. He comes over and sets it down. That feels magical. Oh my God. Like I'm eating this good food. I didn't even have to cook it. That feels amazing. So yeah,
Yep.
history and says, and
I don't get it. I thought she said she was. Okay. Well, okay, fine. She has a partner. Okay. But here's the thing. I've said this before. Which is weird because she said like, can't find. I don't know. It seemed like she inferred she was single. So that's where I go. But literally, she's showing that you can find the man that fits whatever, standard you have. I've said this before, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a straight out feminist. It doesn't matter if you're a traditional woman. It doesn't matter if you are a fat woman, a skinny woman, a ugly woman, a beautiful woman. I believe women of any and all demographics, women of any and all ideology and mindset, you will have options, right? You will have options. The only problem is, are these the option of men you want, right? Are these the option of men you are attracted to? If you're a feminist and you want a man that's like a feminist too, you have hundreds of thousands of them. The problem is, are you attracted to those men? That's the problem. This is the stupidity why I said that. Stop trying to change men. You have options out there, right? You are a straight out crazy ass modern day feminist. You have a man that's literally your mirror image. He's also a feminist out there, right? There's also feminist men out there. Boom, right? You have no problem. You have options. The issue isn't that you don't. This is the most stupidestness of women, right? The most idiotic mindset of a lot of women, saying, "Oh, there's no men out there. There's no good." No, there's plenty. The issue is not there's not any man. The issue is, are you attracted to the men that are there, right? Are you attracted to the feminist men? Are you attracted to the men that would like do 50-50 with you? Are you attracted to the men that don't subscribe to gender norms? Are you attracted to those men? Stop thinking, oh, you know what? I'm attracted to the men that I'm attracted to, but I need those men to change into, let's say, feminist men. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Stop wanting men to change, right? Either accept him how he is or find the man that fits.
to say it makes sense why men want this. I want to say that history tells me I just get to sit down at the table and this beautiful woman's going to bring me all this delectable homemade food. That's history. But if we're really going to cling to history like that and like traditional values, then we're going to live like the Amish. We're not going to have electricity. I'm not going to be on this TikTok live with you. I'm just going to have my toothbrush and my my car with the gasoline in it. If we're going to be historical, if we're really going to cling to history, like that's the way that it's always done, we got to get rid of all the other stuff too. We're all going to go full blown armor. So that history is always bizarre to me.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, then you got a question in the chat quick. But if I think about it from my daughter's perspective, I don't want my daughter growing up and saying, oh, actually, I wish my dad wouldn't have spent so much time and attention on me, because that's not what men did back in history. Like today I spent all day with her. I'm supporting my wife while she makes some of her Etsy stuff. I don't know if I told you that, but she's like starting to make homemade bags and clothes and stuff.
Okay. He's married. I'll give him, credit where credit's due.
Like I want to
Yeah, I could show enough on the stream I got downstairs. I showed off for one of my lives. But so she was working on that today, and I had a super long day. And then I was like, okay.
But again, right? That shows you that there are men that will fit whatever ideology you want. You want the provider men? There are those men. You want the 50-50 men? There are those men. There are men like that, right? There are men like that. The problem isn't that there's no man like that. No man that, fit whatever ideology you have. That's not the problem, right? That, in my honest opinion, that's never been the problem. The problem is, are you attracted to the men that fit whatever standards or ideology you have? That's the thing. Are you attracted to the men that fit your standards and ideology?
I'm tired. I would rather just sit here until bedtime, but like my daughter needs something. Like we've been playing games, watching TV all day. So I sucked it up and I took her out to the beach. And no part of her is going to grow up and say, I really wish my dad would have worked more and watched more TV while mom cooked dinner, because that's what men did for the last 100 or 1,000 years. So from their perspective, from the kids' perspective, it's super important for us to get this right.
I mean, it's probably about to end, so I doubt he's going to say it, but I would love to hear it. That is his wife working as well? Because I love it when we love to, pick and, cherry pick shit. You say for the last 100 years or whatever, men have, been being in front of the TV. Now, I'm not disagreeing with that or whatever. But then on the flip side, for the last whatever years you said, women have stayed in the kitchen. Right? When you stick to gender norms, well, you stick to gender norms. When you go against it, you have to go against it. Right? So obviously this is a thing where, this is why I find some of these panderers illogical, right? If you don't put 100% burden on anybody, right? 100% burden on anybody, what does that mean? That means they have time, they have energy for other shit. So if he's not 100, if the burden of responsibility of providing isn't on his shoulder 100%, he has energy, he has time to put it into other things, like being there for his kids, having time for his kids, having energy for his kids. That's logical, right? Because the wife is taking some of that burden. She is also contributing financially.
You just have so much common sense. I think I've done men dirty by not having the expectation that they'd be more involved in parenting, and also just men going out and working in offices with briefcases and just taking off and being gone. That's actually not traditional at all. For all of human history, we have worked together in these agrarian societies where our children were apprenticing or actually working in field, working the businesses with this. So the fact that dads are now removed from the homes because of late stage industrialized, capitalistic American lifestyles, that's not natural, that's not traditional, and we need to just stop.
Sure. Whatever you say, what's traditional? Okay. What do you guys think?